The silver ship descended through Earth's atmosphere like a teardrop of liquid mercury, its quantum shields dispersing the heat of re-entry into spectacular auroral displays, visible from every continent. Dr. Sarah Chen stood among the crowd gathered at the United Nations Plaza in New York, her heart pounding as she watched humanity's descendants make their historic return. The vessel that emerged from the clouds defied conventional aerospace engineering. It seemed to flow rather than fly, its surface rippling with patterns that reminded Sarah of neural networks made manifest in metal. As it touched down, a profound silence fell over the assembled crowd of diplomats, scientists, and civilians. The ship's surface parted like a blooming flower, revealing figures that were simultaneously familiar and alien. They walked with fluid grace, their bodies tall and lithe, skin shimmering with biophotonic crystals that pulsed in complex patterns. Their eyes, larger than contemporary humans, seemed to hold depths of wisdom that made Sarah's scientific mind reel with questions. The leader of the delegation, who introduced himself as Nexus Alpha 7, addressed the assembled crowd in perfect modern English, though his mouth never moved. Instead, his thoughts manifested directly in their minds, crystal clear and accompanied by emotional resonance that made every word feel like a revealed truth. "We are your children," he began, "separated from you by 3 millennia of evolution and technological integration. We have returned not to judge or to guide, but to share the truth of what humanity becomes." Sarah found herself chosen as part of a small group invited aboard the vessel. Inside, the walls seemed alive, responding to their presence with subtle shifts in color and texture. The future humans showed them historical records, projected in four-dimensional holograms, that made conventional displays seem like cave paintings in comparison. The truth, as it turned out, was more remarkable than any science fiction writer had imagined. Humanity hadn't simply developed better technology, they had become something new. The merging of biological and quantum computing had led to an explosion of cognitive capability. Neural networks based on quantum principles had allowed human consciousness to expand beyond the limitations of classical physics. "Your civilization stands at the cusp of its greatest transformation," Nexus Alpha 7 explained. "Within the next century, humanity will discover that consciousness itself is a fundamental force of the universe, as essential as gravity or electromagnetism. Your descendants, we who stand before you, are not merely evolved apes with better tools. We are conscious beings who have learned to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously, to manipulate the quantum fabric of reality through thought alone." The visitors demonstrated abilities that seemed like magic, instantaneous teleportation, the creation of matter from pure energy, and the ability to perceive and communicate across temporal boundaries. But what struck Sarah most was their profound sense of connection with each other, with the universe, and even with their ancient ancestors standing before them. "The greatest challenge your generation faces," continued Nexus Alpha 7, "is not technological but philosophical. You must learn to see yourselves not as separate entities competing for resources, but as nodes in a vast network of consciousness that spans space and time." They showed recordings of the pivotal moments in human evolution, the development of the first stable quantum consciousness interface, the Great Awakening when humanity realized its true potential, and the eventual transcendence beyond purely physical form. Each step had been built on the foundation of human curiosity, resilience, and the uniquely human ability to imagine possibilities beyond the apparent limits of reality. "We did not come to accelerate your development," Nexus Alpha 7 explained, "for the journey of discovery is as important as the destination. We came to show you that your greatest dreams of human potential fall short of the magnificent truth. Humanity does not merely adapt to the universe, we become an active force in its evolution." As the delegation prepared to depart, they left behind a single gift, a quantum crystal that, when studied, would reveal the mathematical principles underlying consciousness itself. Not enough to give humanity the answers, but sufficient to point them in the right direction. Sarah watched the ship depart, its surface once again flowing like liquid starlight. The crystal in her laboratory would keep her busy for decades, but it wasn't the most important thing she had gained from the encounter. It was the certainty that humanity's potential was far greater than anyone had imagined, and that the path to that potential lay not in conquering the universe, but in understanding humanity's true place within it. As the ship vanished into the quantum foam of space-time, its final message resonated in the minds of all who had witnessed their visit. You are not merely conscious beings observing the universe. You are the universe becoming conscious of itself. Remember this truth and let it guide you toward your destiny. The next morning, as the sun rose over a changed earth, humanity began its long journey toward becoming something greater than itself, not through conquest or dominion, but through the profound realization that they were already part of something far more magnificent than they had ever dreamed.